Alright, so we're back in the GCPD building, and so we're pretty much at the end of the journey in the GCPD building, but guess what? We can't hack the door because they have a jamming device that you would think Batman would just be able to, like, I don't know, throw a batarang at it and, you know, just destroy it there or something, but no, we have to go all the way down to the evidence locker to pick up the electromagnetic disruptor, I think is what it's called, or just the disruptor, which is a very good weapon to use when you come into like a fight room, or if you're in a predator room, because you can you can use it against weapons so that they won't fire anymore. I think one of the upgrades adds a third shot to it, and I think there's another upgrade. I can't remember what. Oh, the other upgrade. You can detonate landmines, which come in very handy for the predator rooms, with the guys that put down those landmines, because they're assholes. In fact, it's the landmines that made me give up on the Deadshot side quest, because of the guys that put down those landmines. They're complete assholes. Because with that side quest, you go back to the merchant bank, and Deadshot has a hostage, and it's just like the Two-Face fight with Catwoman in Arkham City, where each group of guys that you eliminate, he calls in another wave of guys, and they all increase. You know, one of them will have the jammer device, so you can't use your detective vision to see everyone. And then you have the guys that put down the landmines, and then the heavy armor guys, and the guys with the goggles that can see you on the gargoyles. And every time, like 4 different times, I would get it down to I just need to do a silent takedown on Deadshot to save the hostage. It always worked out that one of the guys put a landmine right by the hostage, so when I would do the silent takedown on Deadshot, I would be close enough to the landmine where it would explode, kill the hostage, and I'd have to do the whole thing over again 4 separate times, to the point where I was just like, you know what, fuck this side quest, I'm not dealing with this shit. I left the bank and I continued on finishing my playthrough. It really was really fucking annoying that, like, the first 2 times it happened, I didn't realize it was the landmine that was killing them. I thought it was one of the henchmen. As he was shooting at me, he shot the hostage too. It was the 3rd time when I realized it was the landmine that was doing it. So that's one of those points where whoever programmed that section should get slapped in the face. But that's a side quest, so I'm not done bitch about that anymore. Hopefully, with the disruptor upgrade the way I have it now, I might be able to make that a little bit easier to deal with. And I edited out, in that room there's a data pad you can pick up, but you have to use the remote batarang with the electricity. And there's some areas in this game where I forget that something I'm doing is only to get the data pad, otherwise it's completely worthless. So I just edit that out, so I don't look like a dumbass. Like, why is he throwing? Oh, that's why. It's for that data pad that I already got. So this fight coming up, as you could see from that transition, I died here 3 times, and it was usually bullshit because of this guy grabbing me. And right there, one, I elbowed nothing in the air, but when I was doing that takedown move, I was immune to the guy throwing the propane tank, which I like when that happens in the game, because during certain animations in the combat, you're basically immune to attacks, and I didn't realize that even explosions you're immune to, because when I saw him throw it at me, I was like, oh fuck, I'm gonna take so much damage here, but I didn't take anything from it. So that's when I realized, okay, so you really are like completely invulnerable during some of these fight animations. Not all of them, but there's a good amount of them where you are. Which comes in handy because there's a fight later on, I think in the steel mill, where I was doing a combat takedown, and one of the riot shield guys was doing the motion of hitting me with the riot shield, but I didn't take any damage from it. So, you know, it works out sometimes. You know, work that combo until you can get that multi takedown and easily take out like 3 or 4 guys, and it really does make some of these fight rooms 1,000 times easier to deal with. And yeah, I can also say, since during this commentary I've finished recording the guide, I actually had one of the fight rooms where I actually got a grade S. For like, the best I've always gotten has been an A, but like one of the last fight rooms when you go back to Blackgate, I actually got an S, and I was so proud that I got that. I might actually just upload that by itself just for my own delight, that I actually managed to get an S grade on one of these fight rooms in the game. It's one of my own, you know, it's just one of those little things that's like, hey, I finally got an S. I've always been getting A's or B's most of the time with these fights, but I finally managed to get an S, which kind of surprised me because I didn't think I had done a good enough job in the fight, but I guess the game felt like I did, so I got an S out of it. So this is the first and only encounter we have with Barbara in the game. When you leave the GCPD, she gets in, she like hacks your, I think your comm line or something, and she basically opens up a side quest for the penguin weapon caches. It's like 6 of them that you have to destroy, and you get some Wayne Tech upgrade. I can't remember what you get. But I think on my normal playthrough, I think I only did like 2 of them or something. And this is the point when they tell you that the disruptor, you can use it against enemies' guns. There's also that explosive canister that I probably could use the remote claw and probably would have knocked down 2 or 3 of the guys, depending on how much of an impact or blast radius it had. But the angle I was looking at the guys, I couldn't really see it, so But, you know, I worked it out in the end. You know, I got the multi-takedown and made short work of all those guys. So at this point we just have to leave the GCPD because now we need to go through the sewers. And there's a somewhat of a lengthy cutscene where you're talking to Jim Gordon. And the only point during the cutscene that you have to do something is when you need to drop the smoke pellet. But it's so basic and straightforward that I just didn't see the point of keeping it in. The one thing I should have done during this fight is that I should have tried to use the disruptor on the guy's guns, because it would have made fighting these guys somewhat quicker instead of having one of them shoot at me as I'm trying to knock the other one out. But once you clear out these guys, we'll be moving on to the sewers.